Time to learn English! English lessons for grade 7 with Teacher May. Today is the day, your day to learn and discover more about English. Hello my dear students! This is me, Teacher May, for another video lesson. So this is my fourth video lesson and that means my fourth week being with you guys. Before we start our lesson, I have a question. What did you do yesterday? Oh, someone said, I watched video lessons before I accomplished my Module 3 in English. Oh, that's very good. You are really a responsible student. But I want to help you a bit on how you can improve your grammar, specifically when stating two past events. It's a perfect timing because our lesson for this week is about simple past tense and past perfect tense. Let's start. Let's test how much you already know about the lesson. Choose the correct verbs to use in these two sentences. Number 1. Last year, I belonged to Boracay with my friends. Letter A, is it gone? Letter B, went? Letter C, have went? Or letter D, have gone? Correct! The answer is letter B, went. Kindly notice the time indicator last year. That signals that the verb must be in simple past tense. And went is a simple past tense of go. Go goes, present tense, went, past tense, gone, past participle. Number 2. We blank our parents in the province before the classes started. Letter A, had visited. Letter B, visit. Letter C, visits. And letter D, has visited. Correct. The answer is letter A, had visited. That sentence contains two past events or two past actions. The verb phrase had visited is in the past perfect tense. What is simple past tense? And what is past perfect tense? When should we use them and how should we form them? Before I answer those questions, let's talk about tense. Tense indicates the time when an action or event occurs or when a state or process holds. In English, there are three main tenses. They are the present, the past, and the future. They are the present, the past, and the future. Simple past tense and past perfect tense are both used to talk about things that happened in the past. However, we use the past perfect tense to talk about action or event that happened before another action in the past, which is usually expressed by the simple past tense. Simple past tense is a tense of a verb that we can use to talk about things that already happened. It emphasizes that the action is finished or done. If someone asks you what did you do last weekend, you might say something like, I watched the Blackpink's Netflix documentary, or I slept all day. Watched and slept are in the simple past tense. Do you remember what I taught you last time about the principal parts of irregular and regular verbs? Well, let's review. These are the examples of irregular verbs with their principal parts. The verbs in the first column are used for simple present tense. Verbs in the second column are used for simple past tense. And that is where we got slept. Sleep, sleeps, present tense. Slept, past. And slept again for past participle. How about watched? Is that included in our list of irregular verbs? No. Since it is not found in our list, that means it is regular verb. For regular verbs, we form their past tense and past participle by adding d or ed. Watch, watches for present tense, watched with ed for simple past tense, and watched for past participle. How to make simple past negative? We have formula for that. First, subject of the sentence plus did not plus root form of the verb or verb in the present tense without s. Let us use the example earlier. I watched Blackpink's Netflix documentary. So how can we change that into a simple past negative? Again, we just have to follow the formula. Let's get a subject, and that is I plus did not plus the root word or the present tense without s of the verb watched, and that is watch. I did not watch what? Blackpink's Netflix documentary. Then we have now simple past negative. I did not watch Blackpink's Netflix documentary. To create a question in simple past tense, just follow this formula. Did plus subject plus root form of a verb or simple present tense without s. Examples. Did you eat breakfast? Did you attend your first period class? Let's have an activity. Supply the correct verb that completes each sentence.
Time's up!
Past perfect tense is a verb tense that is used to talk about actions that were completed before some point in the past. From the beginning of our video, I asked you about what you did yesterday, and one of you said, I watched video lessons before I accomplished Module 3 in English. And that is somehow grammatically incorrect.
You know what happened with the D-R-E.
These two actions are both finished or completed in the past. But to talk about the past action that happened before another action, it should be formed in past perfect tense. The formula for past perfect tense is had plus the past participle of regular or irregular verbs. So it can be I watched video lessons after I had accomplished Module 3 in English, or I had watched video lessons before I accomplished Module 3 in English. In the first sentence, this is the event that happened before another action in the past. On the other hand, if your sentence is constructed like the second one, the first event happened is this, before another past action, which is this. Let's try to guess what should be the forms of the verbs in this sentence. My family go to Patar Beach before the lockdown. Begin. First, let's get the principal parts of these verbs. Go is an irregular verb. So it's present tense, go, goes, went, simple past tense, and gone, past participle. Another, we have begin, and it's present tense. We have begin, begins, began, simple past tense, and begun, past participle. This sentence contains two past actions. My family go to Patar Beach, and the lockdown began. One verb must be formed in simple past tense and the other one must be in the past perfect tense. Remember the formula for simple past tense? For irregular verbs, their past tense is found in the second column of the irregular verbs list, while for regular verbs, their past tense are verbs with D or ED. Let's go back to the sentence. My family go to Patar Beach before the lockdown began. First step, look for the time indicator. And the time indicator present in the sentence is before. And since the time indicator before is under the rule 1, let's form the simple past tense of the verb begin. What is the simple past tense of irregular verb begin? Correct. Began. Automatically, the other verb must be formed in past perfect tense. Had plus past participle of go, then we'll have had gone. My family had gone to Patar Beach before the lockdown began. Which action already happened before another action in the past? Correct. My family had gone to Patar Beach. Let's have another example. I eat delicious food because I receive my salary. The time indicator present in the sentence is because, and that is under the rule number 2. Rule number 2 says form the verb written before the time indicators after, because, and for into past perfect tense. Regular verb receive will become had received, and automatically the remaining verb, which is irregular verb eat, should be formed into its simple past tense, which is ate. Then we'll have I ate delicious food because I had received my salary. Let us test if you have learned the rules about simple past and past perfect. Tell whether the underlined verb is simple past tense or past perfect tense.
Time's up.
Let us test if you have learned the rules about simple past and past perfect.
Time's up.
And we're done. Good job, my students. I would love to see you again next week for another video lesson. Bye.